All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Peace, family. Peace, family. This is Jamie with the Sankofa 180 degrees. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we got some guests here. I want to welcome Miss Charlie and Carrie. Peace, Unc.
My man. Hey, this is Unc, and I'm really glad that these people are attending. Welcome to Sankofa Buck 80, and Jamie is going to put together some real intriguing information. You know, he shared it with me before, but I'm glad that we're putting it out there like that. And so, you know, just be patient. He's going to pull up a document, and then he's going to show a video about the. He's going to put up a document on the memorandum 46, and then after that, he's going to show a short video about the Stono Rebellion. And neither one of these historical documents or events are being, pushed in the mainstream at all. Haven't been, and they probably still won't. So we got to hear live for you. And there again, thank you to Carrie and Charlie for attending and supporting Sankofa Buck 80. And Jamie, thank you for all the work you put in, King.
Peace, peace. All right, man. Hey, yeah. So I just wanted to just do a little like something for everybody, man. See if we can enlighten some of our people on some slavery type stuff. I got a little light video for us. Unc found this for me, so this is Unc. Yeah, I got this from Unc. I don't know if anybody ever seen this before, but it's really, really interesting, man. You know, just pay attention. It's really, really slick.
This wasn't just a matter of runaway slaves.
Can y'all hear that? You muted.
Where's Jamie at right now?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay. All right. Peace.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Jennifer?
Peace, Jen. Peace,
Hey,
peace.
hey.
Hey,
Peace,
we just now getting started. Hold on, Jamie. So this is gonna be a video on the Stono Rebellion, and then Jamie's gonna jump into showing a physical document of Memorandum 46.
Okay.
Hey, and thank you, Jennifer, for sending me them clips.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. And if I was a kid, I would have jumped in on that washer and dryer.
Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Let me see where we at. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me.
More than 385.
The following program is rated TV MALV. It contains strong language and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Blacks were happy.
Hey, y'all can hear that, right? Yeah. Can y'all hear that?
The obedient slaves who sang spirituals and waited for the good Lord Jesus to come and set them free. They hardly ever rebelled against their horrific conditions because they knew that if they did, they would end up with nooses strung around their necks and their bloody decapitated heads mounted on poles along the major thoroughfares to set an example for any enslaved Africans who even contemplated doing the same. Wait a minute, that's not historically accurate. There's more to the history of so-called African Americans than our enslavement that's pathetically portrayed in movies such as Roots and 12 Years a Slave. For example, the Gullah Geechee people living along the Sea Islands in South Carolina and Georgia fled their enslavers and established numerous independent settlements throughout Florida. And I'm not talking about that dilapidated Spanish-controlled town called Gracia Real de Santa Teresa de Mose that revisionist historians and white supremacists falsely prop up as the place where blacks fled to and lived happy and free. Were it not for the unprovoked, ungodly, and relentless pursuits of one of their greatest nemesis, Andrew Jackson, and Presidents Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, and James Monroe, the Gullah Geechee people would have reestablished Florida as an independent black nation similar to Haiti.
How many slave rebellions have you heard about? I'm sure you've heard about Nat Turner. I've made videos about Denmark Vesey and John Brown. But something that's not mentioned enough is the fact that we've had hundreds of rebellions. Hundreds. And one rebellion that never gets talked about are the Gullah Wars. Our ancestors have never just accepted slavery and laid down. We have always fought back. Did they capture some of us? Yes. But when you're outmanned and outgunned, you're in a pretty tough position. You're in a tough position when you have this punk motherfucker pointing a gun at your 9-year-old daughter. His musket is in her face, and he's telling you, either get on this boat or I'll blow her head off. As a father, as a parent, you'll probably put those chains on and sit down on that boat. Now generations go by, and people are born into slavery. Once you are born into slavery, hell, you think you are a slave. In Frederick Douglass's biography, he spoke about how once slavery was over, many of those slaves wanted to go back into slavery because that's all they knew. When you can control a man's mind, when you can brainwash him, you don't have to worry about his actions. The Gullah Wars is the part of history that they tried to keep from us. They've tried to disguise this as the Indian Wars, and they've also used many other names as this. The Civil War did not free us. President Lincoln did not suddenly gain a conscience and thought to himself, you know what? This is wrong. We shouldn't treat these people like this. We freed us. We freed ourselves. And this was through the Gullah Wars. The Gullah Wars lasted from 1739 to 1858. These were military-minded runaway slaves. The myth that all slaves fled to the north, no. More than half of them went south. They went to Florida. They want to tell you that all the slaves went to the north because they're trying to throw you off from the rebellion. The rebellion that took place for over 100 years. The slaves would run away and head to Florida. This is where they built their own military. Whenever a runaway was captured, he would come back to the plantation and let everyone know what's going on. And if that runaway didn't get captured, He would tell the people in Florida where the plantation was. Give them information about the plantation, where they can hit them, where this is hidden, where that's hidden. Letting their comrades know where to go and what to do. See, the Gullah Wars were vicious, but they had cohesiveness. They had the mindset of either we'll take our freedom or we'll die trying. Hundreds of angry slaves going to town, plantation to plantation, overwhelming everything in their paths. And they was killing everything. People were getting their heads chopped off. People were getting set on fire. And they didn't care. This included women and children. Because you have to understand this. Yes, that may be graphic. But now, it was their turn to do the killing. It was their turn to do the raping. It was their turn to cut people open. It was their turn to cut heads off. They would ransack anything in their path and slaughter everybody. The first war began in 1739, called the Stono Rebellion. They went to a local gun shop and they took all the weapons. They killed the shop owner, and as they collected the weapons and they left, they all chanted, "Freedom, freedom, freedom, freedom." It was so loud, freedom, 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 freedom. It was so loud that it echoed throughout the town. Everybody heard it. As I've stated, the war lasted for over 100 years, but the most important one took place probably about a decade before the Civil War kicked off. These runaway warriors lit up the United States military. Yeah, you heard that right. The United States military got their asses handed to them. A little more than 400 escaped slaves defeated nearly 12,000 of the United States' finest. They led them off into the swamps and other areas. And since they knew the location, they were aware of the surroundings, the U.S. had no chance. Now back in 1812, Spain was at war with the U.S. over territory in Florida. Now Spain, they got word of what was going on. So they started giving weapons to the escaped slaves. They started giving them weapons and they started training them. And that army grew. The army grew fast. They were so aware of the surroundings out there in Florida. Every time there was a war, they lit their asses up. They had no chance. It was a one-sided battle. The U.S. was getting attacked from angles that they had no idea how to respond to. There was a very prominent town in Suwanee, Florida. In Suwanee, they didn't need white folks for anything. They didn't need any assistance.
Remarkable story. It's overlooked not just by filmmakers, it's not well known in popular culture, and in fact it's been overlooked by historians of slavery, if you can believe it. In the early 18th century, two groups in particular fled the colonial South into Spanish Florida, into the Everglades. One of these groups were Seminoles, who were migrating from the various colonies, just trying to avoid white encroachment, basically, trying to move someplace that white colonists weren't. And the other group was runaway slaves, people who were fleeing and trying to create a free life for themselves. Both were welcome in Florida, and in fact, the Spanish crown offered runaway slaves their freedom if they would defend the land for the crown, for the Spanish. So a mixed society emerged in the Everglades of intermarriage, family intermingling between these runaway slaves and the Seminoles. And in fact, the first legally sanctioned black free town in the North American continent was in the Spanish Florida Everglades. After the American Revolution, people living in the southern states didn't really like living that close to a large armed population of former slaves, particularly when they were in league with the local Native American nation, the large armed group of free Seminoles. And they knew that their own slaves felt free to run away and be harbored by this group. They knew that they were welcomed. And so from George Washington's administration on, there was questions of what do we do about the problem of the Florida Everglades. In 1818, this was James Monroe's administration, General Andrew Jackson actually moved into Florida, invaded it, not authorized to do so. He was actually pursuing justice against those who'd attacked Fort Scott in Georgia, but he did it anyway. He went into Florida, and he took the opportunity to execute some of the people who opposed him, and also to clean out some of the areas of former slaves and Seminoles, because he felt that this would make it better for annexation. The United States then soon actually bought Florida from the Spanish. When Jackson became president, he decided to make sure that the black Seminole communities were moved out by force. So he pursued this in his policy, his larger policy of Indian removal. This led to the Second Seminole War, which was 1835 to 1842, and became the largest and costliest of the so-called Indian Wars. Because the two communities were tied together, that is, the former slaves and the Seminoles, when the Seminoles were attacked in the Seminole War, this led to an uprising of the former slaves. In April of 1836, black Seminoles and their Indian allies moved together to create what was the largest slave rebellion in U.S. history. This wasn't just a matter of runaway slaves. More than 385 plantation slaves ran away from their masters and joined the black Seminoles, essentially in laying waste to the Florida sugar mills, which were some of the most valuable areas, plantations in the whole continent.
They didn't need any assistance. They had their own farming, their own land, and they were very successful. Soon to be president, Andrew Jackson, who was general at the time, sent the troops into Suwanee, and they got annihilated. So they went into battle. They got their ass tore off, and as they retreated, since they were forced to retreat because they couldn't handle it, General Andrew Jackson spotted a section in the community where the women and children were hiding. Since all the men were fighting in the war, they hid all the women and children. This punk, bitch, motherfucker spotted them and slaughtered each and every one of them. They couldn't handle the men, so they slaughtered the women and children. And then they continued their retreat. But you see outrage today over these statues that we're trying to take down. See, Andrew Jackson is known as a hero. Andrew Jackson is on the $20 bill. All through school's curriculum, we were taught how people like Andrew Jackson were heroes. Fuck Andrew Jackson. And may he rest in peace. Now, the act of importing slaves was not stopped due to the kindness of their hearts. The United States stopped importing slaves because of the Gullah Army. That army kept growing and growing. Now, as I stated before, The people who were born into slavery, they had a different mindset. Now, people that they were bringing over thought totally different. So you got these people that you're bringing over. They don't think that they're slaves. Now, some of the people that were born into slavery, they fought and they wanted to get out. But a lot of people they were bringing over, they were riders and they weren't having that shit. And this is what led to the Emancipation Proclamation. White towns had so much fear, everyone was so afraid, and they put so much pressure on Lincoln. This is why they did that. They knew that they wasn't going to be able to contain this anymore. They saw how fast it was growing, and this widespread warfare was getting out of control. General Thomas Jessup said that the Negroes are running the war. General Thomas Jessup convinced and insisted that they set these people free. It was time. See, they always want to throw different names around. You got to be careful with these names and read behind the history of this stuff. They want to call these the Seminole Wars or the Indian Wars. Now, on December 8th, 1837, General Jessup wrote a letter to Andrew Jackson telling him, "You may be assured this is a Negro and not an Indian war. And if it be not speedily put down, the South will feel the effects of it and their slave population before the end of next season." We have never just accepted slavery and laid down. They had rebellions on ships, and we had no guns. They were fighting without guns. There was over 100 rebellions in the 1600s. There was over 100 rebellions in the 1700s. There was over 100 in the 1800s. The Gullah Wars lasted for more than 100 years. We've never just laid down and took that. We've always fought back. Do not disrespect the ancestors like that. I've seen dumbass quotes of people saying, "We are not our ancestors. We'll whoop y'all ass."
You gotta pull your earpiece down, Jamie.
Yeah, my bad, my bad. Hey, I just want to apologize for the profanity.
Okay.
Yeah, for the profanity.
I couldn't. No,
Sorry.
I was just saying I couldn't hear you.
Okay, you can hear me now? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to apologize for the profanity, but I know the brother was a little passionate about it. So I mean I wanted to talk a little more about 1739, the Stoner Rebellion, right? Now, see that right there, that rebellion, out of all the rebellions that he mentioned, that's the ones in the 1600s, 17 and the 1800s, right? Now, I want to talk a little more about the Stoner Rebellion. Like I said, the Stoner Rebellion is the one that literally changed laws and rules. You know what I'm saying? Because when they did their uprising, this uprising took place in South Carolina, right? And hey, them brothers and sisters, they killed they uprising consisted of them. Their murders was so hideous and so bad that they did a 10-year moratorium on slavery, right? This is when they had put uh where where they put a hold on slavery for 10 years. You know what I mean? And when they started the slavery back up, right? And I'll show y'all a little something about it. Um when they started slavery back up, uh they wouldn't enslave those Africans in that part of in those part of the countries no more. And those parts of the countries was I'll show y'all real quick. Uh right. So um so we could just read some of this, right? Um So the leader of the rebellion was Jimmy, and some of them was called the Cato's conspiracy or Cato's rebellion. I know y'all probably heard of that before, right? That's up here. Stone, also known as the Cato's rebellion, was a slave revolt that began on September 9th, 1739, in the colony of South Carolina. It was the largest slave rebellion in the southern colonies, with uh, 25 colonists and 35 to 50 Africans killed. The uprising was led. And I see that right there that that's where you see where when they write the history, you see how the numbers is. But that's no, those numbers ain't right, man. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. But I mean, this is gonna get you a idea of what happened, right? The uprising was led by native Africans who was likely from the Central African Kingdom of Congo. So what happened was is they stopped, excuse me, they stopped enslaving these Africans that was from this area, right? After once they started back up, right? As the rebels from the as the rebels were Catholic and some spoke Portuguese, the leader of the rebellion, Jimmy, was a literate slave. In some reports, however, in some in some reports, however, he is referred to as Cato, and likely was held by the excuse me, and likely was held by the Cato or Cater family who lived near the Ashley River and north of the Stono River. He led 20 other enslaved Congolese who may have been former soldiers in an army marched in an armed march south towards Stono River. Now you see now that they now at this point they let you know that see because we remember when they started when they started slavery, King. You remember when the slavery was about, they said that the people were uh wild and uh just just savages, and so the reason why they can't they got them because they wanted to tame them and get them next to God, right? You know uh turn them into Christians or whatever, right? And civilize them, right? But now they're letting you know that these people, hey, these brothers right here was already soldiers. They was already soldiers, right? Hey, they were bound and they were bound for Spanish Florida, where successive proclamations had promised freedom and future for fugitive slaves from British North America. Jimmy and his group recruited nearly 60 other slaves. Now y'all heard the story about that, but what I'm saying is this here, man. When them brothers killed them slave masters, they did a 10-year moratorium, and it says it right here too. They did a 10-year moratorium where they had stopped them They didn't want them brothers and sisters in their houses no more. They didn't want them Africans no more because them Africans was off the hook, man. They was killing them cats, right? And and so that's when they started enslaving the native Indians and the Moors. And this is why the Moors is saying that the United States broke the treaty with them. That was the treaty that they broke with them. Because at that point, before that, the Moors was considered free white persons, right? And that was the treaty because they had a hand in the transatlantic slave trade, right? Until them Africans changed the game, and that's why they came up with the Negro Act. And the Negro Act was supposed to be, and it's over here somewhere, but they're talking about the Negro Act right here, the Negro Act of 1740, right? So these Africans, this slave revolt right here was so bad that it made them come up with this law right here, right? The Negro Act in 1740. That's how bad it was. That's what the importance of this slave revolt was. And you know what the cold thing is, man? They don't even teach this in school, man. And it said it was supposed to restrict them, to improve work conditions and all that kind of shit. You see this shit? I mean, excuse my language, but y'all see this? I mean, but this is what it was supposed to be, right? Right. But
I think the video even expounded on that part too. A couple of parts you said, but that they were supposed to improve their living conditions. But what was the improvement of the living condition? All right.
yeah, and then who was going to tell anyway? I mean, and who was going to tell that the living conditions had ever changed anyway? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, man. The whole thing consisted of, like I said, and like I said, in Spanish Florida, that's a cold thing too, because right there they talking about St. Augustine. This is what they talking about. Spanish Florida was supposed to be St. Augustine in that area, right? And when we first moved here, that's where we lived at, in St. Augustine, right? Yeah, so that was kind of crazy too, man. So that kind of tripped me out too. So it was like they was trying to get to St. Augustine just so they can get away from Florida. I mean, get away from slavery. Plus, they was able to fight back and kind of get back at them. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I thought that was kind of slick, man.
So did you know about that when you lived in St. Augustine? I would say no, but
No, I
yeah,
know that they had history, and I know that was Spanish, Florida. But no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that much about it at that point, man. And that was what, like almost 4 years ago. So no, I didn't know. No, sir,
right,
I did, man.
right. And
Um,
then I found it intriguing too, because Jacksonville is right there, and you all in the mix of that business.
yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah,
I'm right here.
yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy because when I was reading up on it, I was like, wow, they just said that Saint Augustine, and I was like, wow, we was living there, and I was like, wow, man. So, but anyway, but anyway,
Yeah, I thought I found it really intriguing. Because me and Jamie talk about this stuff before, and what I found really intriguing was that this is what changed slavery, not what is promoted as, once again, a daggone lie, man, and misleading. And that's why I really highlighted these two presentations that Jamie is doing, because they're really intricate, and you're not going to find this stuff just by, it's got to be some kind of divine intervention, ancestral intervention, or, by chance somebody run across it, but we don't call it coincidence, we call it necessity, right? So good job with that, Jamie.
I mean, so what? So anybody? I mean, it don't matter, man. And what do y'all think about that, man? Anybody got anybody? Yeah. What do y'all think about that?
Put your messenger screen back on.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me stop sharing real quick.
Miss Charlie, you got anything to say about that?
Well, I found it like really intriguing and eye-opening because, unfortunately, you know, his story is not our story. So the narrative is hidden until you come upon it arbitrarily, or somebody shares it with you, or you're out there doing your research and stuff like that. So, like when I first found out about uh, the massacre of Black people in Oklahoma, I thought that that was just one of a handful, until I found out that those type of events had been happening all over the United States, where racist white supremacists were just going into towns and things that Black people had established after slavery, and just destroying them, just tearing them down, for no reason at all. So to learn that our ancestors were warriors, and rebelling even as they were in the transatlantic trip across the ocean, just encourages me, and it just gives more fuel to my fire while I'm out there sharing, and I get the opportunities to teach, our people, that we are a great people, and Black men are warriors. Intrinsically and internally, Black men are warriors deep down inside, but because of our programming and our indoctrination and just trying to survive, so many of those traits have had to be buried on the inside. So yeah, that was like, thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that.
Just share something before Jennifer jumps in. So you brought up the things that happened in the United States about the white supremacy and stuff like that, and this cat revealed that there's documented 100, over 300 uprisings for 300 years, right? During 300 years. Now I think about the hood, right? So they put on the news a few captions, and we know that there's many more going down, at least from where I'm originally from, right? It doesn't get, I could be on the phone with somebody in Chicago from Michigan, and knowing that things was going down in both places, Detroit, Michigan, Lansing, and but on the news there's only maybe one or two a week, right? So I think about, he mentioned the recorded documents, and that folks was just uprising often. So the narrative of we never laid down, we was always trying to get up and move something, is a big message that eludes us as a whole.
Right.
All right, Jennifer. Carrie's just gonna chill. She's in there cooking.
I'm chilling too.
You chilling too?
Yeah,
You did it get you upset?
kind of.
I bet you. I can tell in your voice. I can tell in your swag.
Yeah, but I'm right here. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
trying to straighten some stuff up, trying to fold some clothes.
Okay, that's all good, Queen.
All right.
So welcome to Isaiah too. That's Jamie's son. He's gonna be doing a reading of out of the African books about queens on one of these sessions.
Okay, so all right, so this document right here is the National Security Council Memorandum 46. Turn your, hold on one second.
Why is music?
That little king was on it, man. He muted it real early, right when he popped on.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So this right here is the National Security Council Memorandum 46. This was done March 17, 1976. I think this was the Jimmy Carter administration, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Y'all can hear me, right?
1978.
78. I'm sorry. 78. Right. And so this 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 is the Presidential Review Memorandum, National Security Council Memorandum 46. This is two. This is that Secretary of State, to the Secretary of Defense, and the Director of the Central Intelligence, right? And the subject, check out the subject, Black Africa and the U.S. Black Movement. Now, just understand this. Just understand this right there, right here, man. Right? Understand this. Is the Black Movement is us. We are. That's us. That's who we are. Right. All right. So okay. So now this is what it says. The president has directed that the comprehensive review be made of current developments in Black Africa from the point of view of their possible impacts on the Black movement in the United States. Right. So what they're doing is they're reviewing, right? They're just reviewing the developments and the developments between Black Africa and Black movement, right? They got to keep an eye on that, right? And so they got three of them: long-term tendencies of social and political developments, and the degree to which they are consistent with or contradict the U.S. interests. Proposals for durable contacts between radical African leaders and leftist leaders of the U.S. Black community. Appropriate steps to be taken inside and outside the country. See, this is really important right here, man. They're taking steps, right, to see you coming and to see them coming, right? And that's the African brothers and sisters, right? This is what they're doing, man, right? Right, in order to inhibit any pressure by radical African leaders and organizations on the U.S. Black community for the latter to exert influence on the policy of the administration toward Africa. Now, y'all see that this is very, very important. This is very, 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 very important. Appropriate steps to be taken inside and outside the country in order to inhibit any pressure, right? So this they don't want no pressure, man, between they don't they, so the whole thing is to keep us separated. This right here is to keep us separated. They want to control that. You see that, in order to inhibit any pressure by radical African leaders and organizations on the U.S. Black community. That's us. You see this,
So what they're
right?
trying to do is make sure that there's a wedge between Africa and the diaspora in the United States.
Oh,
So that that would be like some of our fallen leaders, like Martin Luther King, like Malcolm X, Huey Newton, and all the Black Panthers, and all those who were popular in the Black movement from having any kind of connection to the political scene in Africa. Because
exactly.
like we're the only group of people who get into trouble, and we can't call on nobody.
That's right. That's right.
We can't
That's
call we can't call on Libya to come and help us. We
that's
can't call on Nigeria to come
that's
and
right.
help us. You
That's
know,
right. That's
so
right.
that was all strategy on the part of our racist white United States, to stay in control of the Black movement, which, like you said, is us.
This is what, yeah, this is, I mean, because this has never been rescinded. So this is still in law right here.
It's
All this is
still
still in law,
yeah,
right? So this is,
absolutely.
so the thing is this is us. So from us sitting here doing this, like what we're doing right here, right this moment, is what these people right now is trying to monitor. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Because the last thing they want is for see. Look, watch this, man. Just watch this. Right.
Let me just say this one thing.
Go ahead,
So
King.
so you know, you gave a great depiction of the wedge, right? And what I'm sitting here thinking of is trying to picture the power of the black people over here. It would have to include the Mexicans too, I imagine, and the Indians. But let's just say the black people over here, right? And being able to squad up with the people in Africa, the biggest continent, right? You know, so that's a beautiful and scary. You know, it's bittersweet, beautiful and scary pictorial, man. You know, so I just wanted to throw that in there with the pain and the shame of the wedge, with the power and the strength, but the potential lost bodies of the unity. You know, and how they wouldn't be able to stop it. You know, they wouldn't be able to stop it. Period. And that's why they showed them little babies with the bugs flying around them with the big bellies and stuff like that, instead of showing beautiful Africa, right? So we don't get no interest in it. And that is poor when it's the richest nation, right?
Right.
Right.
The
All
richest
right.
land on the continent.
Right. All right, Jamie.
Hey, so now just pay attention to number 2 right here. Hey, U.S. interests in Black Africa. Now here's the interest right here. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. A multiplicity of interests influences the U.S. attitude toward Black Africa. The most important of these interests can be summarized as follows, right? Political. Here's the political part of it. If Black African states assume attitudes hostile to the U.S. national interests, our policy toward the white regimes, which is a key element in our relationship with the Black states, may be subjected by the latter to great pressure for fundamental change. See, just I mean, just that's why I did it really slow, man. If Black African, and they said they made sure they said if Black African states assume attitude hostile to the U.S. national interests, you see this. See, because our policy toward the white regimes, which is a key element in our relations with the Black states, may be subjected by the latter to great pressure for fundamental change. Thus, the West may face a real danger of being deprived of access to the enormous raw material resources of Southern Africa, which are vital for our defense needs, as well as losing control over Cape sea routes by which approximately 65% of Middle Eastern oil is supplied to Western Europe. Do y'all see that, man? Do y'all see that? Y'all see that, man?
It's
This
all
is
about the Benjamins and being in control.
do you listen, man? Hey, man, they is so scared because listen, they know that they say it right here, man. Hey, the West may face real danger of being deprived. Man, listen, man, they if listen, man, if we was to send a message,
That's
because
it.
listen, Africa
That's
is
it right
waiting on
there.
us. The
That,
African brothers and sisters is waiting on us over here. Y'all
right.
don't know, y'all not understanding, man. Y'all
That's the key part.
really not understanding what this is about, man. Them brothers and sisters are sitting over there watching and they waiting because listen, man, as soon as we make an uprise, they gonna uprise. And if they shut that shit down over there, it's over. It's over for the United States, Europe, all these countries over here. It's a wrap. For Africa is the only country on the planet that can shut their door, shut their borders, and survive and thrive. not just survive, they could thrive. The only continent that can
That's
do that.
cold.
Is that listen to this,
That's
man.
that's
Listen,
cold.
listen to this, man. The only continent on the planet that can do that. Shut their shit down and can still thrive. Thrive, not just survive. Listen to this, man. Hey, hey, these people are it's something else, man. And this is why they working. This is why we don't know about comedic science, people. This is why we don't know about comedic thought. This is why we don't know about now Valley civilization, culture and spiritual systems, right? I say systems with a plural because there's more than one, right? There's many, right? Right? Listen, man, and you have the right to practice any one of them that you choose, right? Because they was meant and especially designed for us, especially for us and for our nature and our culture, our spiritual beings. Hey man, hey man, listen, it's
That's
cold, man,
powerful. That's really powerful, man.
right?
Yeah, and
Listen,
it's
listen,
just
and this is why we don't know about it. This is why we don't know about it, man. Look at this. Look at check this out, man. Black Africa and the U.S. Black movement. Check this out, man. Hey man, they've been watching. These motherfuckers know. I mean, excuse my language, but these people know, man. These people know what's going on. These people been knowing. They know right now. Apart from the above mentioned factors adverse to the U.S. strategic interests, the nationalist liberation movement in the Black Africa, man. They make sure that they say Black Africa. Why is it Black Africa, King? Because that's a key, man. People ain't getting it, man. Right? Can act as a catalyst with far-reaching effects on the African Black community by stimulating its organizational consolidation and by inducing radical actions, such as a result. Listen to this, man. Such as a result would be likely as Zaire went the way of Angola and Mozambique. Listen to this, man. I don't know if y'all familiar with what happened here, man, but this was a hell of an uprising right here too that they was talking about right here. These right here, Zaire, Angola, and Mozambique. Y'all check that history out right there. Y'all
yeah.
check that history out right there. That's a good history to check out right there, right?
That's why it's
This
always good to have pen and paper when you're available, because typically you just hear stuff, right?
see
And so you can
they
write
don't
it
want to
down.
they don't want a uprising. Like, just like I said, they don't want an uprising to start here that would trigger an uprising there that would cut their shit off. See, this is what I'm saying, man. An occurrence of the events in the 1967 and 68 would be grievous harm to the U.S. prestige, especially in view uh, of the concern of the present administration with human rights issues. Moreover, the administration would have to take specific steps to stabilize the situation. Such steps might be misunderstood both inside and outside the United States. Hey man, hey, these people is cold, boy. They trying to do it. Hey, they'll do whatever it takes.
Right, right, right.
Look at this, man. Hey, man. I mean, we can go over this. Y'all can check this out. It's public information. It's like I said, it's a National Security Council Memorandum 46. Hey, write it down, man. Hey, and
Hey,
go
Jamie,
through it. Yes, sir.
can you just ship that to me though?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will, man.
Ship that to me, and then I can get it out to the people that want it.
Yes, sir, man. Like, yeah. Hey,
But you can look it up too, and I got it on file, but I want that so I can just have it printed off.
yeah. Y'all look this up, man. But I'm gonna tell y'all, man. These people is cold. Y'all, hey, and like I said, these people are posted inside and outside the country, King, to making sure that we do not connect. They don't want us connecting. The last thing they want is us to connect, man. They don't want us around that oil. They don't want us around that oil, King. They don't want us to disrupt anything that they got to do with that oil. I'm trying to tell y'all that, man. Hey, these people, man, listen to this, man. I mean, they even, man, man, they even got spooky with it, man. I mean, y'all gotta read it, man.
Hey, go back to that one, go down a little bit more. That might be it.
Where?
No, I was just talking because it was just talking about it was just reading about how they got to keep how it's important that the black unemployment rate stays low, right? They're the least employed people, and they want to keep it that way. So that their employment rate stays low, right?
Yeah.
My wife was just checking me on that. You read that, Carrie? You read that, or you just corrected my grammar, my structure? Yeah. Thank you, though.
I mean, but just look at this, man. I mean, the Secretary of Treasury, the Secretary of Commerce, the Attorney General, the Chairman Joint Chief of Staff. This is law, man. This is what they doing. This is a must. They have to do this, and this is what they've been doing, King. And this is why our brothers and sisters that's over there in them churches right now today, right? You know what I mean? Listening to my man up there. That's and he can, I ain't mad at him. He got to make his money, man. He got to get, he got to get, gotta get your money, man. Some kind of way, right? I'm just saying, King, this is the reason why we don't know about this, our culture, man. We don't know about we don't know about our spiritual systems. You know what I'm saying? That's why we don't know about it, man. Because it ain't just, because it ain't just because we ain't we ain't reading about it. It's because, man, you got a whole agency working against you,
Yeah.
right? You got a whole agency, man, that's keeping this from you, that's working to keep this from you, man. They went so far as to demonize our teachings, King, to keep us away from it, man. You know what I mean? They demonize ours and glorify theirs, and to keep us away from it, man. Oh no, that's evil. You know what I mean? I done seen it before, King. You know what I mean? I done seen it, man. I done seen it. I done seen it, man. You know what I mean? Hey, you think it? Hey, man, look, man. Yeah, hey, man, y'all messing with some voodoo. Y'all messing with people that's evil. They put spells. Hey, that book got spells.
That book got spells in it.
That book got
spells in it. Jamie, I ain't gonna be able to do that one. That book got spells in it. It can't come up in my crib.
Whoa. Hey, man, listen. Yeah. Hey, I'm just saying. But listen, our shit been demonized for so long, King, that's what it's been like to our people. That's what it is. It's evil. It's spells. You don't want no spell. I ain't bringing that shit in my house. You went crazy, man. Look, I'll tell you what. You take it in your house and tell me about it. How about that? You know what I mean?
Hey, that's what I call Jamie and say, you can miss me on that one.
I didn't want to say no name, King. I didn't want to say
that's
no
all right.
name.
I got you. Hey, I got your back,
no
man.
Name.
Hey, it's all good now. I'm glad you.
I didn't want to say no name.
Yeah, that was beautifully done. Yeah. So that's a real good bill, Jamie. That's we got that one out there, and I personally think that that one is, out of all that we did, has the most vital information.
Hey, man, well, you know what, man? I'm just saying, King, this is, everybody please just, hey, when you get some time, check out Memorandum 46, right? This is a really good joint, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else too, man. Like, if you want to even, I mean, listen, man, there's other videos too on Memorandum 46, right? Okay, so and the one that you know, the one that I looked at, where I get this idea from was Polite and SETI. It was called the Summer Jam, right? And
Oh, let me write that down. Let me write
y'all
that
look that
down.
up. It's on Sonetta Studio TV, Sonetta TV, right? Go to YouTube, go to Sonetta Studios, and you look up Polite and General Sarah Suit and SETI, and look up the Summer Jam, and Brother Polite goes through this really well, man. You know, so y'all really, man, you know, whoever is really interested, man, uh pull it up yourself, check it out. Um hey, but like I said, comedic thought, man. Hey, people, check out my aunt, look up my aunt, pull up the 42 laws, uh put your 10 commandments next to it, and just and do just do a comparative study. Everybody do that, man. Everybody that run across this video, do a side by side comparative study with the 10 commandments and the 42 laws of my eye, and then you come and tell me, or send a comment, send a message, whatever you, however you do it. Come and check us out next week and let us know what you find. Right? Just let us know. All right. But everybody, thanks for tuning in. Huh? What you
My
think, man?
man. Hey, man, you know, this is a blow up right here, man. I like it. I like it. I've been excited about this information for a while. You know, you snuck the Stono Rebellion in on me, you know, last week and shit. But, you know, I've been waiting for this presentation for the memorandum, man. And thank you for all the work you put in, man. Hey, Jamie be studying. Jamie be studying. He be calling me up on one, right? You know, so I appreciate all the work you put in, King. And thanks for the wake up again. You know, you keep putting it on me. I know we about to jump. We keep putting it on me, man, but I ain't buying it. You know, you stuck with it, man. We stuck with it.
Hey, Jen, what you think? What you think, Jen?
She went to go get her another load of clothes before.
Where you at? Where you at? Bring them out. Bring them out. Hey, but yeah, man. But and Carrie, thank you for joining, Queen. Hey, you are man. Hey, you're a quiet guest. I love that.
Hey, she in
Thank
there.
you.
Yeah, there she
Thank
go.
you.
Yeah, there she
I
go.
learned a lot. And it makes me feel cheated that we weren't taught this in school. And thank you for your research.
Yeah. Just think about it, man. I mean, you know, why wouldn't we taught this in school? That rebellion alone brought laws into existence. They had to create a law behind this, right? They had to do a 10-year moratorium, man, where they wouldn't even enslave them Africans no more, man, because them Africans, man, they tripped all the way out, man. They listen, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thank you again.
They went all the way in, man. I mean, they just, hey, listen, they made statements. They made statement killings. You know what I mean? Those were statement killings, man, to where, hold it, man, we don't want these cats in. Hey, look, take them cats back, right? Wherever you got them dudes from, take them back, get them all together, get them on up out of here, because no, we ain't doing this again. We can't never do this again,
We need
right?
new niggas.
Hey, so then that's, like I said, that's when they started enslaving the Native Americans and the Moors, and that's when the Moors got to whining, because see, that's what it said before that. The Moors was, you know, they was rolling with them. You
Considered
know what I
free
mean?
white people.
Yeah, they was considered free white people, man. So they was rolling with them, man. They was helping them with the slave trade and assisting them and selling slaves and rounding them up and all that kind of stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? But then once them Congolese got to put that whoop wop on their ass, they was like, hey man, listen, look here, man. We gonna have to reconsider them cats over there. We don't want nothing to do with them over there. right?
Yeah,
Hey, we're gonna just go get them over there. Just go get them over there. We can get them right there.
yeah.
And,
Them new
and
niggas.
yeah, we get them new ones. We get them new ones that ain't gonna be fuck. They ain't gonna be hanging us from chandeliers and you know what I mean? You know, yeah.
Yeah, here
Oh,
come Joyce. Here come Joyce.
okay.
So
Here
yeah,
come the
man,
Gwen.
that's real powerful, man. And you know, there again, I go back to the thought of you know, that very beautiful but yet scary pictorial of if Africa and us over here join, what they're gonna do. And then the point you made about um Africa is the only continent that can sustain itself, you know.
You
I
know, I'm gonna
trust you,
tell you
but
what
I'm
they
gonna
do.
have to. But I'm gonna have to read back up on that one some. But
I'm
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now, King. This is the truth. Africa is the only continent that can shut its borders and don't have to leave, do no import or export, and can still thrive. The only continent, right?
because they did that during the what's that plague? The Black Plague. They did that. They cut that shit off, man. They closed the border, and then people from where they came from, they couldn't get the rice that they wanted, the heavy supply of rice and other foods and minerals and stuff. Cut them off, so it makes sense. And I think there's one city there that has 4 connections. Maybe Ghana has 4 connections to either the outlet or the ocean itself, right?
I mean, listen, man. They would.
No
I
more.
mean,
Carrie's saying no more diamonds, no more gold, no more,
it
no
would
more
be
food.
no more cobalt, no more. I mean, like I said, like their military. The military was shut down. King. I mean, listen, man. Listen, man. Listen, man. Let me show you something, King.
What's up,
This.
Joyce?
Hey, peace, Queen.
Where you at? Where you at over there? You over there? No, you got
She,
somewhere. You over there
she,
somewhere beautiful.
she in Wisconsin.
She,
She in Wisconsin. She in
Where I
Wisconsin.
would like to be.
She in Wisconsin right now.
Since
Hey,
we're in the
so Joyce, you'll be able to catch this video. You'll be able to catch
Okay.
this video on Sankofa.
Okay.
Make sure you watch it. Make sure you watch the Stoner Rebellion and the memorandum.
Okay.
Hey, but now what was we was just talking about what they okay yeah okay
What
so
Carrie?
look here we go 65%. Here we go
All their imports and
right here.
exports.
So look so this is what they would lose, man. So they said thus the West may face a real danger of being deprived of access to the enormous raw material resources of Southern Africa, which are vital for our defense needs, right? And that's right there. That's vital. Defense needs. That's bad, man. That's real bad, King. Because if your defense is what makes you either you're gonna be the strong or the weak. Is your motherfucking army, your military. And if your military, if you can't get the shit you need, and the shit that you got breaking down, and you can't get the shit to fix it, nigga, you might as well go on and lay it down and tell them, all right, man, go ahead, man. Y'all can have this shit. We cool. What you know what I mean? I come out. You know what I mean? Right.
And then they gotta have the finer foods for celebration, man, and for the prestigious, right?
Right. And then
They
it
gotta have
says
the
vital for our
jewels.
right. And just I mean that's just luxury shit. But you got the cobalt, like you got rubber, you got a lot of stuff that come out of Africa, man, that's vital. You know, it's other precious metals that
Right,
come
right.
out of Africa that they have to have, man. You know what I'm saying? As well as losing control over the Cape Seas. This is very important, right? Hey, somebody, you gotta
George, you have to
your
mute your mic.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, you gotta, and this is really important too. When you with the Cape Sea routes, see when you control that water, When you control that water, oh man, hey, it's you know, you got to pay the tariffs on that water and all the all the taxes, or I can shut this shit down and you ain't getting through. You're not coming in. You get to turn around and roll out, right?
Right.
That's what they could do, right?
That's what they can do.
Yeah, right. And like I said, 65% king of just the oil. That's just 65% of the Middle East, Eastern oil is supplied to the Western Europe, man. 65%. You
Wow.
shut that up. You shut that off, man. What you know? I'll tell you what they're gonna do. They're gonna declare war, King. They ain't got no choice.
Right.
They
Right.
ain't got no choice. They don't
Right.
have a choice, King. They don't have a choice. They have to declare war, right?
When you
They
when
have
you when you when you get done, run up to number 2 again, so Joyce can get a taste of that.
oh, the interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number 2, the interest in Black Africa. See, this is why these people is so interested in Black Africa, and the whole thing is about Black Africa. Just look at it, man. Just look at it from the beginning, man. Look at this, and look who was 2: Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, Director of the CIA, right? This Jimmy Carter shit, right? And this is what they got to do, man. Long term tendencies. So the whole object. So here's the subject: Black Africa and the United States, U.S. Black movement. You see that? This is the subject. This is the whole subject of the whole document: is Black Africa and the U.S. Black movement. And let me remind you that the U.S. Black movement is us. That's me, you, Unc. That's Jennifer. That's Sonetta and everybody, all the conscious community. That's all of us. That's Isaiah. That's everybody, right?
Right. Right.
That's everybody, right? Everybody, right? And so it say the president has directed that a comprehensive review be made of current developments in Black Africa from the point of view of their possible impacts on the Black movement in the United States, right? So they watching the interaction between the Africans and over there and us over here, right? Right, and then it's right. Uh,
Go to Roman number 2 whenever you get a chance.
okay, you want to go down there right now, right quick?
No, whenever. No, you can finish what
All
you
right.
was doing.
All right, so the long-term tendency of social and political developments and the degree to which they are consistent with with or contradict the U.S. interests. Proposal for durable contacts between radical African leaders and leftist leaders of the U.S. Black community.
That's cold.
Right. Listen to this one though. Appropriate steps to be taken inside and outside the country in order to inhibit any pressure by radical Black African leaders and organizations on the U.S. Black community. That's us. For the latter to exert influence on the policy of the administration toward Africa. Right.
That's way too cold,
So
man.
they don't want you to fuck with that policy. So they got a policy over there with them. But if you but they don't want but they got people on inside and outside the country, right? In order to inhibit any pressure. Listen to this. So this is to stop any pressure by they watching and they hey, you better not have no bullshit. They go there, watch them Africans come over here. You better not be on no bullshit. And they watching us go over there, and you better not be on no bullshit.
Right.
Right.
Right. Right.
Right. And then you come down here, right? The U.S. interest in Black Africa, right? And you get down to the political part. Well, we already did the political part. So the brother went. We getting down to 2. Oh, wait, what happened?
No, we'll go back up. Go back up.
Yeah, they're right here, right here.
Yeah.
The U.S. interest in Black Africa, right?
Where was that at?
You talking about the 65% joint?
No, yeah, because you had already read it then. Okay.
Okay, yeah. And then the Black movement and the Black Africa and the U.S. Black movement, right? This right here is cold. Apart from the above mentioned factors averse to the U.S. strategic interests, the nationalist liberation movement in Black Africa can act as a catalyst with far-reaching effects on the American Black community by stimulating its organizational consolidation and by inducing radical actions, such as results will be likely as Zaire went the way of Angola and Mozambique. Now, again, family, y'all got to look at the history behind because these was cold
Right.
ass uprisings, and you got to check out and they don't want and that's what they're trying to prevent. They don't want no damn uprisings. They don't want no uprisings because you're around that oil. We don't want you clowning around that oil, man.
What'd you say, Gary? Gary said because they scared the motherfucker, man. Niggas stay put.
I'm
She didn't
just
say
saying.
that part, but
I'm just saying, man. I mean, just think about it, King. They've been trying to kill us since our inception, King. Since we come in contact with them,
right,
and all we've done was gotten bigger and stronger.
right.
What does that tell you, man?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? You've been trying to exterminate us from the beginning, man. Look at it. I mean, I skipped this part, but it says where we at. Black Africa is increasingly become an outlet for U.S. export and investment. The mineral resources of the area continue to be of great value for the normal functioning of industry in the United States and allied countries. In
Damn.
1977, the U.S. direct investment in Black Africa totaled about 1.8 billion and exports and 2.2 billion. Right, new prospects of substantial profits will continue to develop in the countries concerned. See, it's about that bread too, man. That money that these people is making out of digging up out of and taking out of Africa, King.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember we showed that one video. I think you showed it where they had the blood diamonds, and they had the black people just with pails around their neck, man, crawling on the ground, picking out the big diamonds.
And so look at this here, man. Check this out. In the United States, these actions could include protest demonstrations against our policy towards South Africa, accompanied by demand for boycotting corporations and banks which maintain links with that country. Attempts to establish a permanent black lobby in Congress include activist, leftist, radical groups, and black legislators. The reemergence of Pan-African ideals, King. Look at this here, man.
Yeah.
Pan-African ideas, King. Do you understand that that's us?
Yeah.
Pan-African. That's what we doing here. Pan-African, King. We Pan-Africans.
Right. Right.
That's what we are, King. That's exactly what we are right now. Yeah, whether y'all know it or not, when y'all join these channels and y'all join these groups, those are Pan-African groups, man. Those are Pan-Africans because those people are pushing African culture and African spiritual systems. That's what
Right.
that's what everybody's pushing. Comedic life. They're pushing African culture and African spiritual systems, King.
Right.
All these different groups, Sankofa 180 degrees. That's what we pushing, King. Pan-African.
Radical 11.
You see what we, but see, this is what it is. But see, this is what they're doing, man. Right? Hey, man, so and they fear the reemergence. You see that? The reemergence of Pan-African ideals, King.
That's crazy.
They're afraid, King. Carrie hit it on the head. Carrie hit it on the head. Queen, you hit it on the head. Yes, you did. Yeah. Yeah.
Indeed, you did.
Yeah, you did, man. You did that. I mean, because listen, I mean, that's what it's. Listen, man, these people got us in their shit, man. They've been watching. Look, man, they even got the They got the Black Panther. Leftist group, radical elements of the black community could resume extremist actions in the style of the defunct Black Panther Party. You see that,
Yeah,
man?
that's cold, man.
You
That's
see
that's
that,
the one I
man?
remember from
You see that?
Yeah, that's real cold, man.
Hey, they cold, man. They cold, man. They don't want nothing like this to ever happen again. The Black Panther Party, man, they scared to death that something like that will ever come up again, man. They
Right.
don't, man, listen. And now you got the Nation of Islam. Hey, man, these people scared to death, man.
Yeah.
Nation of Islam. Now, you guess who's making a whole lot of noise, or was making a whole lot of noise? Was and it still is, these Hebrew
These
Israelites.
Hebrew Israelites, man, no
These boys
doubt.
making a
Yeah.
whole lot of noise.
I was
These
thinking
boys,
of
and
that
it's
when
a
we first
whole
started,
lot of
man.
them cats too. It's a
Yeah.
whole lot of them.
Yeah.
And when I say a whole lot of them, King, it's a it's a lot of them,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Hey, people ain't understanding. They ain't getting it,
Yeah.
right?
And I think the only thing that, I think the thing that is, just inevitable to happen is the uprising, man, because they ain't buying, the laws, the officials, the cities, nobody, people are just, none of those entities are just accepting and willing to join in with, equality, and freedom and publishing of, the distribution of real history and on and on and on. So I think about this often, man. And the only thing that I could see, man, is it's like inevitable for the uprise. Don't know when, don't know how, but people been getting ready, been getting ready,
Yeah,
right?
you're right. I'm gonna tell you right
Yeah,
now. Hey, but I mean, every last one of them has been bad. And I was explaining to my mother that you know, you got superpowers like Russia that go over there and jump on them little countries like the Ukraine and think that you just ready to go in there and mow them people over. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna lay down. I said, no, now Ukraine giving Russia hell right now. And it is not going as they thought it would. It's not going like they thought it would, and it's not going like Putin thought it would. So I'm just letting you know that the shit ain't gonna happen the way people think it's gonna happen. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? Because now you got a lot of people. See, here's the thing: people are not understanding. You better start asking the question: who's the minority and who's the majority now? That's the first question you better ask. Then the second question you better ask is this: we got we afforded damn near the same kind of weapons y'all afforded, right?
right,
Damn near. And a lot of us got the same kind of training that you got, right? And everybody ain't gonna work on your team like you think they is,
right,
right? Right. So you got a lot to count for, man. So I mean, so this one would be a lot different if it was to happen. It would be a lot different. It would be a lot different, King.
yeah,
It wouldn't be one sided as history has it written.
right,
You know what I'm saying? We know how different it is because I'm telling you, a lot of them uprisings, hey, made like I said, the Stone of Rebellion made them motherfuckers put some different laws up.
right, right. And if we ever get it together, you know, you know, definitely don't want the uprising, but I just see it. That's the only necessary way, man. We gotta go take that shit. So, careful to say that on here, but you already did. So that's a wash, right?
Sorry to say, but hey, you might be right. You
Yeah.
might be right, King, because I mean, they've been marching since when?
Ever,
They've been protesting since when?
ever.
The only thing that's changed is the damn date.
Yep. Exactly.
The only
Exactly.
damn thing that's changed is the damn date.
Right.
Ain't nothing else changed but the date and the president's administration's changed.
Right.
You know what I mean? People die. People, you got now you got the kids that was born on the last protest. You know what I'm saying? Now they protesting, and then they kids it's gonna be protesting. Yeah, so 20 years from now, they're gonna still be protesting.
Yeah. The law gonna give us that to
So
a
when,
to a to a to a to, to a to a less degree though. Then just like when in the Stoner Rebellion they had the law that changed the living conditions, right, based on certain circumstances, right. So same thing with the being able to march and move and protest and stuff like that. It's still conditional, man. And they claim it as, we have to keep law. Well, goddamn, they're gonna keep law with breaking the law, right?
I tell you, one of the saddest things that you could ever do or ever tell your son, your 8-year-old son. Your son is watching TV and he's watching the news and he's watching these people protest downtown, right? All right. These people are protesting. The police is down there. The people are down there. Your son is asking you what this is about, and you're explaining it to him what it is about, right? And then the last thing you say to your son is, "Well, son, don't worry about it. When you get old enough, you're gonna get a chance to protest too." I mean, is that
Right.
you know what I mean? So you know what I mean?
Right,
So
right,
like,
right.
what you just saying is don't even worry about it, man. Like you're gonna have a chance to do it too, King. You know
It
what I
ain't
mean?
gonna change. It ain't gonna change.
Hey, no go. Hey, you gonna get it.
Yeah.
You gonna get your turn. Don't trip.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna. Your kids gonna get their turn. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't even worry about it. You know what I mean? So when they ask you, you just tell them the same thing. Like, don't even worry about it, son. Uh, when you get about 20 more years from now, 10 more. I mean, it's gonna be many protests in between. But I'm just saying, the
Yeah.
ones that maybe you can participate in, yeah, you gonna get your chance. Don't trip.
They don't trip. Yeah,
Right.
and that's sad. Without even really knowing that content is in there, man.
Right.
Just
I mean, is that is that really really sad though, King? Like
uh,
really, man, son, don't worry about it, man. You'll get your shot at it.
And you
You
better
know what I
not
mean?
sit there and eat all those.
When you go protest, when it's time for you to protest.
yeah, yeah, and the lighthearted, the light delivery of that, man, is just more evidence of just being wore the fuck out. Just being wore out. Son, don't worry about it.
Because you're so immune to it, like it's not no big
Exactly.
deal no
Yeah,
more.
that's
It's
a
not
good
like,
word.
man, it's like, hey, man, they protesting again. What this one about? Oh man, for real? Ah man, they get another one. Oh
I
man,
know we can change this. I know
hey,
we
yeah,
can
hey,
change this
if,
one.
hey, man, if these don't go to jail, oh, I know they're gonna tear the city up. Woo! Then
Yeah.
2 weeks later, everything died down. Everything, everybody good. Ain't nobody protest no more. You know what I mean? And 6 months later, hey, we need to go ahead and start another uprising so we can change a couple of laws right quick.
Yeah.
Shoot a couple of moves up on them right quick. All right, that's all right. You know what I mean? They
And
send
you
a
can't
message.
use the Black Lives Matters movement, man. I heard, Miss Charlie talking about that, and they just put too much funk in the game, man. I say it to their face, man. They're robbing niggas, man, buying big ass buses, and where 5-10 million go to. You know what I'm saying? And then people still they know that was even published on the white news, right? And so. And then people still buying into the Black Lives Matter. Of course, Black Lives Matter. I'm far from supporting that. But that organization, that ain't the ticket to.
I don't know about it, man.
That ain't the landmark. That ain't the landmark to be using.
I'm not sure about it, man. I haven't
Yeah, I'm
done any
sure
research
about
on them. I haven't done any research on them, but I do know that that you see Black Lives Matter when there's a murder of police and black or something, right? But you don't see them, in Chicago, marching in Chicago and talking about Black Lives Matter on the South Side where they doing all the black on black, right?
Right.
As if to say, to them, like, okay, we're gonna help y'all. We're gonna gas this shit. We're gonna gas this up. They done killed a black man, unarmed black man. What we're gonna do is we're gonna gas it up and try to get either some more people killed or see how far we can get these black folks to go.
Right.
but you ain't over in LA or in Chicago on the South Side. You ain't over in St. Louis or Flint. You know what I'm saying? Or Detroit. You know, Lansing. You ain't in Lansing talking about Black Lives Matter. Stay. Uh, stop killing each other. Black on black crime. Where the march at for that?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And literally they had one, man. But your point is, in Lansing they had one. But your point is, you know, it done burnt out. You know what I mean? It done burnt out, and they're not moving like that. So we got to have some consistency, man, and all over the place, and stop misappropriating that money. So I'm just as confident about that description I gave you as you are about Africa being the only continent to be able to sustain itself. I'm that confident.
Like I said, King. All right, this memorandum 46. Hey, it's a cold document, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's still law. It's still law right now.
Oh, there goes some more fam.
Hey, T.
Hey, hey guys.
Hey.
I
How
just
y'all
heard
doing?
you guys talking about like the rallies and getting together and the black on black crime. I can just say I totally agree. I think especially with the narrative though of black on black crime, it's something that we need to talk about more in our community. I think the media uses that against us when most crime happens in the neighborhood. So it's white on white, it's Mexican on Mexican. That's how it happens. They just use that against us. It's something that we need to focus on in our own community and figuring out how we stop that. And stop letting them write the narrative for us. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
So
right.
there's on One Africa, which was a conference that they held in Detroit, that was Stein that they was going to do it in Kemet in Egypt, right? Is that right, Jamie?
I'm sorry. Say it again.
They were going to do. Where was they going to do One Africa first at?
Oh, they was gonna do it in Egypt at first.
Okay. So within that, so they switched it over to Detroit, right? And
Right.
so in that presentation, and I don't remember the guy's name, but he came from the hood. He's in the hood working, doing exactly what the Queen was talking about was exempt, and we need to do more of in our own personal communities. But my point is that king is laying it down over in Detroit, man. Making jobs, making a difference, and it's so much so that he was a part of One Africa, right? So, it's a good. And I can find out his name and stuff, but you get on Happy Films and look at the One Africa presentation that they put on, man. You're gonna get your time's worth, right? And some. Hey, I'm gonna have to jump off and go fuel up, man, before I cash out.
All right, King. Yeah, we about to shut it down, man. I was just I was pretty much done, man.
Yeah, you did a good job, Jamie, man. And there once again, I'm really thankful that we got this out. Me and Jamie been talking about this memorandum for a minute, right? But like I said, he snuck in the Stoner Rebellion on me last week, so I had to get that research in, man. Be sure to view on Sankofa 180. That's a Facebook page. This video, this recording will be up on there. And then don't cheat yourself just because we got on here. Go back and look at that video and look at that information. All right, and then do some research like on Zaire, Mozambique, and what was the other one?
Zimbabwe.
The uprising, yeah. Zaire, Mozambique, Zimbabwe,
yeah,
and then you can find many other uprisings that we did not lay down as slaves or anything, and they don't report that. They don't put that out there, right?
Yeah, they don't teach that in school, man. They ain't gonna teach that.
The same thing is they don't want the American Black people. I just label it as that, the Pan American, right? The Pan American to join up with them niggas over in Africa. it won't be able to stop us, right? And they will have to declare war, right?
That's right.
So I'm gonna cash out. I'm gonna jump off before I cash out and get fueled up, right? And thank you all for joining Sankofa. We always gonna bring that real stuff. So thank you again for being present and supporting Sankofa Buck 80.
Hey, peace to you, King. Peace to you, King. Hey, Joyce, do you want to close out?
Can you see me?
Joyce always got some. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. I spent time with Joyce, and she's serious, man. She got some good brain cells up in that head. I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of you, Queen.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, all I have to say is like, it's just like, I was just somewhere and like in the country, I'm in Kentucky, and the person is of other persuasion. And I'm like, no, I don't want to ride around here because, I'm in a place to where it's not a lot of people like me. And the person going to tell me it's not about race. It's not about race. And I'm like, the laws pull you over. It's going to be different for the two of us if we get caught doing something wrong. And then I was just in the crazy place right now. And talking about what's the power of 9? I mean, the power of 6.
Tell me.
I was told it's the power. It's 9, and it means that they're studying our DNA. So it made me feel like I was just around like a person who's like a little thrown off by just what they were saying. For her to sit and think that it wouldn't be about race. If we were into a situation with each other, I think that it would be harsher on me than it would be on that person. So she trying to convince me to, act like it's okay for us to be all the way out here, like 30 minutes away from home. And it's just like she crazy. And I'm sitting up there giving her the crazy look. And she's ranting and ranting, talking about how it's not about race and just a whole lot of stuff. And seeing rainbows in the sky, little holes opening up. I was just around a crazy person. I mean, I'm surprised she don't got the styrofoam on her head.
Yeah. Well, you got. I mean, you can even learn something from them too. I mean, you really can, man.
I try to be open-minded. I try to be open-minded with some of the things that's being said, but you just can't sell me if I can't read it or see it. And I do see it. Just like the 15-year-old boy that got killed. They shot him 8 times and 1 landed in his head. That's ridiculous. And this memorandum that y'all showing is like, this is from back in the day.
Yeah, 1978, the memorandum.
That was already written. So if they know this about us, why and how do we start to be able to rise up with each other to be able to fight something like this? Because they already know, they're already afraid. So what can we do? I mean, with outlets like this, what can we do in order for that to be better, for us to all be prepared?
I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think that what we should be doing is connecting with the brothers and sisters over there, right? Because I'm gonna tell you something right now. What has happened over there is they have gone into most of the countries over in Africa. I think it's 54 countries in Africa on the continent. I think it's 54. And you want some of this? I think it's 54 countries on the continent, something like that. I kind of lost my train of thought.
Let me just say this real quick. So Joyce, what's crazy is if a motherfucker in your situation that you experience doesn't say, get the fuck up out of here. You can be crazy as you want to on the way out, bitch. Oh, excuse me. Excuse my language, right? All right. All right, I'm out. I might be getting a little short, man. Let me
That's how I was.
Hey, but listen, what I was saying was it's 54 countries, right? And most of them are either Christian or Muslim, right? Okay, so what we have to do is we got to get our people back onto their own African spiritual systems. See, well, so most of them have been colonized. Most of those countries over there have been colonized by either the British, the
Yeah.
French, or the U.S. Different countries, right? Um, so in those colonizations, those are different. So it brings their religion. So every time that a country is colonized, whatever country is colonizing said country is bringing their religion and their practices and their culture, and that's what you're gonna live by, or you're gonna die, or you're gonna roll out. Either or, right? So my thing is we have to connect with our brothers and sisters over in Africa and start doing business. Start doing business with our brothers and sisters over there, right? And I'm gonna tell you something, man. And see, because they don't want us in the political game over there. They don't want us over here in the political game over there because of the connection, because of the like I, you know like the memorandum 46 said, all the raw material that account for that come out of Africa, that without, they would have to fold shop, right? And that goes for any Western country, Africa. I mean, uh, uh, U.S., Europe, all of them, right? So you would have to fold shop if Africa was to close their doors and close their borders, right? It'd be over for you, right? So this is what I'm saying. So what we have to do is we have to, and they're doing it now. You got a lot of countries in Africa right now that are kicking these other countries out, like France, like Kenya, and all these countries is putting them out of there. Ghana, get your ass up out of here. It's time for y'all to go. And they're putting them out and they're leaving. These countries is leaving, and these Africans is taking their countries back, right? And you see them online all the time, burning the cross and burning the images of Jesus and all that, and talking about they're going back to their cultures. So they doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's happening, and this is why it's getting tight over there. This is why Obama went over there. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what we don't know about it. When you think about it, this is why I got a problem with Obama, because Obama went over there to Africa and bombed a number of African countries, right? In the name of this shit right here that I'm talking about right now, right? And the people don't even know it. You know what I mean? He killed a lot of our brothers and sisters, man, over this shit, right? To put their military and so they can control those waterways and the position of your military. See, it's all key. That's all key to these countries, especially these superpowers. Your military position is very, very key to these countries' survival, especially these superpowers' survival, right? So yeah, and if you get into the politics of it, you will see Ukraine and the Russian war and NATO, and you will see the connection between NATO and Ukraine, and then the opposition will be Russia not wanting the enemy so close to their border. So y'all got to understand so all this shit is about military position. So most of it is, right? Oil, money, you know what I mean, land, natural resources, right? So I'm telling you, so our thing is to connect with the people in Africa and to continue to educate them. You know what I mean? Because truthfully, Africans are waiting on the blacks over here in America and over here in the West. They're watching, and they're waiting on us. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, y'all don't understand how big of an influence we are to the Africans over there in Africa. Y'all don't know how big that our influence is, and they're watching and they're waiting on us. And as soon as we uprise, they're gonna uprise. And this is what this memorandum is warning, and this is what they're afraid of. See, so they're doing everything they can to keep us separated, everything in their power to keep us separated. And this is why they demonize our teachings. This is why they demonize the Ankh. They demonize the Haru. They demonize it to keep you away from it.
That's why they created the inner city and
They got to keep you away from it.
and keep drama in the inner cities so that way and people killing people.
But that's right.
Keep your mind off of it.
That's right. I got to keep the shit keep chaos going. Okay, okay, Zaya, I see what you got there. So what is that? What are you holding there?
The Ankh and the Haru.
The Ankh and the Haru. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What? So Isaiah, what does that Ankh stand for, man? What is that for? What is that?
Life.
Life. Okay. All right. Hey, what is it? Do you know what the cross stands for? What is this? What's the cross stand for?
Death.
Oh boy. Okay. All right, man. All right. Say hi to the panel. Say hi to the panel.
Hi.
Hey, Isaiah.
Hi.
Hey, so
Jamie. Everybody is muted.
How you doing, Miss Jennifer?
hey, I'm sorry.
I'm good. How you doing, Joyce?
I'm doing good, try to get by with this weather and stay away from the crazies.
Oh, I hear you. It's hard to do, but it's, you know what I'm saying? Got to do it.
Especially when they attracted to you, when they just gravitate towards you. That's crazy.
Exactly.
Hey, but Isaiah's gonna be doing a children's book reading in about 3 weeks. Okay. And it's gonna be a book reading on the kings and queens of Africa. And so we would ask Joyce, Jennifer, T, everybody that get all the kids together and see if we can get them on. And so we're gonna have have a Zoom for them to so Zaya can do a little book reading about the kings and queens of Africa. Okay, y'all. And that's
Good.
gonna
That'll be nice.
That's gonna be in about 3 weeks, and we're gonna start advertising about it in about another week from now.
All right.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So we're gonna get all the kids. We're trying to get all the kids we can. All is invited. And so we know it ain't gonna be no cussing, no none of that. It's gonna be kids show, pretty much a kids show. All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, but it's gonna be a kid / comedic show.
All right.
All right. So just want to put it out there for y'all. All right, y'all. Hey, thank y'all for joining. And I'm gonna end. And peace.
Peace.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Take care, Joyce.